This is World Report. Good morning, I'm Marcia Young. The U.S. and U.K. are expected to announce a major trade deal today. President Donald Trump has been posting obscure messages on social media, but this morning officials in London have confirmed an agreement has in fact been reached. This makes the U.K. the first country to cut a deal since Trump announced his global tariffs last month. Nick Harper is following developments from Washington. And Nick, what do we know about the deal so far?
Well, Marcia, the UK has wanted a trade deal with the US ever since Brexit, when it withdrew from the European Union back in 2020. But of course, Donald Trump's tariffs have sped up the process. President Trump has posted this morning on social media a couple of times. He's written that this should be a very big and exciting day for the US and UK. He's calling it a full and comprehensive deal, which will cement the relationship, he says, for many years to come. However, the details are a little thin, but we do know what both sides want. The UK wants to remove the 25% tariff on UK steel and the 25% tariff on UK cars entering the US. Washington, in return, wants a deal on pharmaceuticals and technology, in particular for the UK to remove the digital services tax that UK tech companies have to pay.
Donald Trump's post last night suggested more deals were in the works. What other countries are close to agreements with the U.S.?
Yeah, the White House is saying that talks are underway with 16 other trading partners. The most advanced of those talks seem to be with Japan and South Korea. They've both had trade delegations in the US over the last few weeks. Also, India, the US Vice President was there a couple of weeks ago. And this weekend, talks are finally getting underway between the US and China. The US, though, is downplaying expectations of a quick deal with Beijing. They're saying that these initial talks are more about trying to de-escalate before both sides can move forward. Marcia?
Thank you so much, Nick.
You're welcome.
Reporter Nick Harper in Washington. India says it has no intention of escalating the conflict with Pakistan, but there was a second act of aggression between the two nuclear powers overnight. India launched drones at Pakistan's air defense systems. It says this is retaliation for the deadly attack in India-administered Kashmir last month, an attack India insists was orchestrated by Islamabad. Hira Mustafa has the latest.
A day after India targeted what it calls terror camps inside Pakistan, Pakistan military says it has intercepted at least 24 Indian drones. It says they targeted multiple cities and a military installation in Lahore. General Ahmad Sharif is Pakistan's military spokesperson.
The international community can visibly see the path that India is treading through this extremely provocative military aggression.
Pakistan's Punjab province has declared a state of emergency. Medical facilities have been asked to have staff available round the clock and delay all non-emergency surgeries. India is confirming it targeted air defense systems in Pakistan. It says this is in response to Pakistan trying to hit military targets in north and western India. Here is Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar.
It is not our intention to escalate the situation. However, if there are military attacks on us, there should be no doubt that it will be met with a very, very firm response.
Across both countries, flights have been suspended and airports are shut down. Thousands of people have been moved away from the frontier in the disputed region of Kashmir, and the international community is still urging restraint. China and the United States have both offered to mediate, an offer that neither Pakistan or India have accepted. Hira Mustafa, CBC News, Islamabad.
Lithuania's parliament has just voted in favor of withdrawing from the Ottawa Convention. It is an international treaty banning the use of anti-personnel landmines. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Poland, and Finland are the 5 NATO countries that border Russia. They all say they need to exit the agreement. They say they need to be able to respond to the military threats from their much larger neighbor. No new pope has been elected yet today. The crowd in St. Peter's Square reacts to the latest result of the papal conclave. Black smoke rises from the Sistine Chapel chimney, meaning the cardinals do not have a decision on Pope Francis's successor. They held their second and third rounds of balloting this morning. The Cardinals are now on a break, but there will be a fourth and, if needed, a fifth vote later today. Some Vatican watchers say it could take a few more days until one of the Cardinals achieves the needed two-thirds support. A grieving mother in the UK is urging parents here in Canada to take the threat from measles seriously. The number of cases continues to grow in Ontario and Alberta. And as Jennifer Yoon tells us, the disease can be devastating.
Our family's been through hell.
A parent's nightmare. Helplessly watching your child dying in a hospital bed because of a measles infection. Rebecca Archer says she didn't realize just how serious the virus can be.
The fact that it was measles, I just couldn't get my head around it.
10-year-old Renee was infected as an infant, too little to be vaccinated, during an outbreak in Manchester, UK back in 2013. She seemed to recover, but the measles virus stayed dormant in her brain for years. When it finally attacked her nervous system, she had seizures, couldn't talk, eat, even stay conscious.
Yeah, they told me that it was going to be fatal and she'd have no brain activity.
Renee had a rare complication of measles called subacute sclerosing panencephalitis. Infectious disease specialist Michelle Barton worries a child in Canada will die of that or of any other complications like pneumonia, as measles rips through unvaccinated children in parts of Ontario and Alberta, putting those who are immunocompromised or too young for the jab at risk.
We wouldn't normally think about it in a developed world setting where measles had been eradicated.
Rebecca is begging parents to get vaccinated. She says her child would still be alive if others were immunized against measles.
That injection could save your child's life, like it could have with my child.
She's hoping others understand the stakes. Jennifer Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
In Newfoundland, fire crews are waiting for the fog to lift. Water bombers are standing by to help battle the flames threatening Small Point Adams Cove, Blackhead Broad Cove. About 400 people live there, but it is also home to some seasonal residents. The fire is still out of control, and Mayor Curtis Delaney says the town is under a state of emergency.
As far as we know right now, there's been no injuries, there's been property damage and homes lost, but everyone is currently safe. They have somewhere to go, so everyone is doing good this morning.
He says fire crews believe at least 12 homes have been destroyed. Nearby community centres are open for people who need shelter. A game that's popular with high school students has police in Canada warning it's dangerous. Senior Assassin involves tracking down players and shooting them with water, gel, or foam dart guns. Police say the fun becomes unsafe when the toys are mistaken for real guns. Idil Musa has more.
Yeah! It's supposed to be all fun and games. Teens ambushing their classmates in malls, parks, and restaurants with toy guns. But police across the country in cities from Winnipeg to Sudbury are warning.
Replica firearms look an awful lot like real firearms.
Constable James Dixon is with York Regional Police just north of Toronto. The service has recently received numerous reports of young people carrying what appear to be guns. And Dixon says that kind of misunderstanding can lead to serious trouble.
Whether it's a police-involved shooting, whether there's criminal charges of either assault with a weapon, whether there's mischief to property. There's a lot of different things that can come out of here that we're very concerned about.
Last year in Kansas, a teen was paralyzed when the father of a target shot him. In February, an 18-year-old in Florida was shot by an off-duty police officer who mistook his water gun for a real one in the dark.
Across the country, there have been tragedies and near tragedies that have occurred.
Florida State Attorney Melissa Nelson told reporters earlier this year the game has also led to traffic collisions and school evacuations.
It might seem like a game, and certainly it seems fun to young kids, but the consequences could be deadly.
Police are urging teens to make sure their toy guns look nothing like the real thing, or better yet, forgo the game altogether. Idil Musa, CBC News, Toronto.
That is the latest national and international news from World Report. News anytime, cbcnews.ca. If you like the World Report podcast, please follow us and tell a friend. It helps spread the word. I'm Marcia Young.